Hi friends, welcome to btblive.com, where we throw down on some tunes and talk to professional musicians to gain some insight into their success and learn from their experience. Now my guest today is bassist Paul Shihadeh. Paul holds down the bottom at Cirque du Soleil's stage production of O at the Bellagio Hotel right here in Las Vegas. Paul's going to tell us how he got the gig and a whole lot more. But first, we're going to pick some boogie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
You know, you sound great on the stuff we've been doing together.
Thank you.
Man, you play your butt off, and you're really great. But I'm going to cut to the chase, and I'm going to ask you the question I know everybody wants to know, and that is, how did you get the gig working for Cirque du Soleil?
Oh, well, now that is a very interesting story. It's long and sorted story.
Okay.
I had submitted my material to them, demos and so on.
Oh.
And I got called, I remember getting called for one audition. It was a short audition, nothing really came of that. I remember doing a second audition, which was quite a funny audition, actually. That was for Zumanity. I never did get the gig.
Yeah, okay.
But I remember going in there, and it was upright and electric, and bass and all that.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it was at first it was just a normal audition.
Okay.
It was we played the track. It was actually here in Las Vegas in a studio.
Yeah.
So you had the tracks, and it was for me it was a comfortable setting. I have a fair bit of studio experience, so it was very comfortable.
Yeah.
So we did 30 minutes of playing tunes, tracks that they had, different things.
Yes.
No reading. They're not interested in chart reading.
Wow, really?
Their whole thing is very organic, and they they're not looking for necessarily for strong sight readers. They're looking for strong creative musicians,
right.
which is an interesting approach. But
especially for a stage show.
Oh yeah.
Now in a studio playing on popular records or whatever, I can understand that.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that in a little bit. But the audition process. So about 30 minutes. We did all that. I had my upright, my electric, and fretless, and fretted, and whatever, and doing all the different tracks. And they said, "Great." I said, "Thanks." So they said, "Okay, now put the bass down."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, what are we going to do now?"
Yeah.
She said, "Okay, do you see the camera?" And I said, "Which camera?" They said, "That camera." I said, "Do you see that camera?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I see it." She said, "All right, we're going to have someone stand behind, and we want you to make love to the camera." So what does that mean exactly? They said, "We want you to look into the camera, deep into the camera."
Yeah.
And we want you to make love to the camera, and then pick up your instrument, and through your instrument, make love to the camera.
Wow.
Interesting. So I said, well, all right. So I played a couple. I looked in the camera, played a couple of riffs. Looked, I'm not an actor, so I did my best. It was Slightly embarrassing to say the least, but that's what they wanted, so I did it. And I said, "Yeah, could you have a girl instead?
Yeah,
stand behind the camera
help out
at
a little
least,
bit.
just so I can have some point of reference." They
Yeah,
said, "Sure."
yeah.
So one of the
Oh, wow.
directors came in and
Too
she
much.
sat behind there, and so we did that.
Yeah.
And I said, "Is that it?" She says, "No.
Hmm.
Can you sing something?"
Oh, wow.
I said, well, I'm not a singer, but
Right.
all right. Mm-hmm. So I thought of some kind of Sinatra tune, I think, and I sang something
Yeah, right.
a cappella, just myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I never did get the gig. So I was like, all that effort, and I didn't get the gig. It was crazy.
That's so funny, man.
So then, like 6 months later, again, I'll make this short if I can. But
Yes.
6 months later, I got a call from the casting department. I was still in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, we have a band leader role opening up at Mystere.
Okay.
And I said, well, that sounds interesting. I don't really have a lot of Cirque band, leader experience there.
Right.
But I said, well, I could maybe possibly do it. And that was over a weekend, and I was very excited. And then they called me the weekday, and they said, no, it's not happening. That's completely off.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, what a drag.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting the gig at Le Rêve, which is not a Cirque show.
Right.
And that was at the beginning of that show during what they call the creation period. Similar to Cirque in its concept and its approach, but it's not a Cirque du Soleil show.
Right.
So I was bass player on that gig
Yes.
for 4 years, and then I got a call to look at Zumanity again.
Yeah.
For band leader. Didn't do that. A couple months later, the O position came up for the bass player band leader position, which happens to be
Yes.
a bass player band leader position, or at least it was.
Yes.
And I got that.
Now, I understand that you attended the same school I attended for a while as the Berklee College of Music.
I did.
Yeah.
I
So
did.
how did that happen? You come to, well, I know how, you probably heard about it
Yeah.
and said, wow, yeah, I can stand a little bit of that, right?
Well, it was interesting because there were some choices in Canada to go to, and I thought, you know what, my father being an academic, he said, you want to do music? Great.
Right.
Go get a degree, though.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you,
Yes.
just go out there. So I remember I took a year off after high school, and then, they were pushing me to him, my brother, everyone older than me was saying, all right, let's get it on now. Let's go on and let's
Yeah.
apply and go there. So
get a little safety net or something.
yeah, something. So then I did apply, and I went. And at that time, it was much more affordable than it is now. Obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I got my bachelor's in professional music.
Yeah.
And I squeezed it in about 3.5 years.
Wow.
I tested out of a couple of early courses, and then
Yes.
and then I finished in 90.
Yeah. Did you do any work any gigs around town while you're at Boston? Because it's a very that city loves live music.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was super busy. I remember I was tutoring actually in the English department, because just to
okay.
make some money. I was making $5 an hour,
Yeah.
helping some of the foreign students, with their writing and that kind of thing. It was a skill I had, so I thought, well, I might as well try to make some money there.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing what we call them in Canada casual dates, but I guess it's general business dates here. But with one of the teachers there, he had a working band that would work in and outside of Boston, and I would do weddings and conventions and things like that.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah, casuals. As they
Casuals,
call them
yeah, that's
these
what I call
days.
them, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
And then a few jazz dates in town, and yeah, that was pretty much it. But a lot of those casual dates, tons of that, which was great because I ended up doing a lot of that back in Canada.
Yeah, it's good
and
for you.
It was great. I just love the different styles.
Yeah, you got to learn tunes. Yeah.
But Berklee itself,
Yeah.
there was so much playing in the school
Yeah.
that it was just all the different ensembles that we were to do. It was great.
What do you think your main talents are? A lot of times as musicians, we don't see our own talent. Other people can see our talent before we recognize it. What do you think your talent is? Special talent, because, we all have different gifts. What do you think it is about you?
As a professional musician?
Yes.
I think, to be blunt and not to be too, egotistical, but I think it is my professionalism. I think that's what, for me, not even talking about my artistic thing, I think, when you look at musicians, I think, we're all, I remember taking lessons years ago in New York from John Patitucci, a well-known
Oh, yes.
jazz bass player.
Absolutely.
And I remember him saying, you know, it's just a line, and
Yes.
we're all on different points of the line.
Yes.
And we all have a place on that line. You know what I mean? Like there's guys down here, there's guys here, there's guys here, and everybody's doing their thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But so if you, I think as an artist, even though you're just a musician, if you consistently try and look at yourself like, you know, is this person better than me, or am I better than this person, or there's, it becomes, it can tire you out. You know what I mean? And you can lose your whole focus. But if you look at yourself as saying, I do what I do. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to do the best job I can.
Right.
And I'm going to make the producer, make the director, make the band leader, whatever, make him sound great.
Yes.
Then that's it.
Very
That's
important,
all I want to do. Yeah. So from, you know, I think from that aspect it's great. From an artistic standpoint, I think my versatility, I can play a lot of different styles.
Yes.
I'm very consistent with that, and I record very well. I have a lot of experience playing with, you know,
Yeah.
click and that kind of stuff, and I really enjoy
Yes.
doing that. I'm a strong improviser. I love doing that kind of stuff. So I think I have a wide.
Yes.
I think my versatility, I think, is.
I think that's
important.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Very important.
Which is interesting because a lot of guys. I remember when I was teaching college and I was doing the bass program thing. You know, there was this whole discussion of feature versus function. Like, are you a featured artist? Do you want to be, you know, a singer-songwriter guy? Do you want to be the frontman? Is that what you want to do, or do you
Yes.
want to be a functional player? It's totally different things.
Right.
And my whole path was always, I want to be a functional player. I wanted to be a guy that
supportive
could,
role.
right? That can go
Yes.
to this gig, that gig, this gig, this gig, whether
Yes.
it's country, punk, rock,
Yes.
funk,
Yeah.
jazz,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Well,
I'm able to
I
do it.
think you succeeded.
Oh, well.
Well,
That's
you know, Paul, it's been great having you on the show.
Thank you.
And I think that our viewers, I think they learned a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
So thank you very much, man.
My pleasure.
And, we'll get together again sometime.
Sounds great.
And, get it on. On each episode, I like to answer 1 or 2 questions we receive by email. And today's question comes from John. And John asks, Boogie, how long have you been playing guitar for Smokey Robinson? Well, John, I've been playing guitar for Smokey for nearly 30 years. And as you can imagine, it's been a blessing to me. But let me say this. Early on in my career, I realized that the music business was not about guitar players, but it was about songs and singers. And in that order. And anytime I had the opportunity to hook up my little wagon to a songwriter-singer or a songwriter-producer, well, I did so. And I attribute that principle to my longevity. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for tuning in and watching btblive.com. And until next time, keep on keeping on, and God bless.